watching episode 1 of the LGBTQ review.
We are James and Beth.
And this week we're going to be looking at The Danish Girl.
Yeah.
So there are these two people and they're really, really in love, and they're both artists and they live in Denmark, and one day she is like, please can you sit for me, I really need to finish this picture of this woman, can you put on these tights and like hold this dress up? And he's like, yeah sure, and then he does, and he's like, this, and then he wears this nightie out, and then he has this alter ego as Lily, and then he goes out dressed as Lily to this party and he kisses Paddington Bear, but he gets a nosebleed and he has to go home, and then his wife is like, why did you kiss Paddington Bear? And he's like, it wasn't me, it was Lily. Lily kissed Paddington Bear. Slowly he just realises that he is Lily, and that's like obviously really hard on their relationship, and then they have to go to Paris because her paintings of Lily actually sell, whereas her art before didn't sell. And they go to Paris and they meet his old childhood friend who once kissed him because he was like wearing an apron and he looked really pretty. I'm just gonna keep going. They go to loads of doctors and they're all like, you're perverted, and really intelligent stuff like that. And then they go to this one doctor, he's like, okay, and they do it. She has the operation. There are like 2 operations, and she has the first operation and everything's fine, and then she goes back home. She like hangs out with Paddington Bear some more, but they don't get together because Paddington Bear is gay, and Lily isn't gay, or a man. That's more important. She's not a man. And then they get to have this second operation, and like the wife is really scared, and she gets with that French man who's in everything. Who kissed him when he was little, and then they go outside and he dies. She dies. They go outside and she dies.
So it was based on a true story, and it's like a diary.
Yeah, it's published.
A man becomes a woman?
I wouldn't like to say. Also, because that's a title that somebody else has put on it. Because they're her diaries, right. Aren't they? So that's
and is that... there's like a scene where she's like writing her diary and she's like, oh, it's important to keep a diary. Is that just that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like foreshadowing for the end credits.
It was first operation, like successful operation, was it? Of
Well, it wasn't successful, was it? She died.
Well, no, the first one was. Is the
Johnny Depp's wife. Why did the fishwives have newspaper on their heads?
Is that like a joke? There's a scene right at the start, right, where Gerda is pretty much talking about the male gaze with this kind of elderly chap.
Yes.
And it's a great scene.
Jack Russell.
Yes. Right, my point is like, why is he so scared of this like Jack Russell? I don't understand. Like
have you met Jack Russell?
He seems like he doesn't seem, at the start he's just not like scared. By the end of the scene he's like petrified. I don't understand why, because it's like, oh, thank you for not having your husband here, I'm far more relaxed. But then like...
I don't think he's scared, I think he just jumps every time she tells him not to move. I don't think he's scared of the dog. I think he's trying to like look at a painting and then she's like, look up, and then he's like... That's him being super aware that he's not looking at other things.
Like that was one of the best scenes I think, for her.
Yes, definitely. I like the dancing scene with Amber Heard. Her best friend, who was a dancer, well, their best friend actually, that was a dancer, who was only in the first half of the film.
Oh, okay. So,
right at the beginning when she was dancing and he was looking at her, that was quite clever because you thought, oh, he's like ogling that girl dancing.
Right.
Where in fact he isn't ogling that girl dancing at all. He's like, that's a nice dress. She's pretty. I'm pretty too. Nobody knows.
There's this one scene where Gerda comes back in and she shouts at the husband.
Yes.
And then she comes back in and she's like, sorry, I'm just on my period. And
what? That doesn't happen.
She comes in and she says, oh, sorry, I'm on my period.
Because they're trying for a baby and she didn't get pregnant, so that makes her like stressed. Because they're trying really hard to have a baby and she gets her period, so she knows she isn't pregnant and she's stressed. And then the man is like...
okay. She's like accepting of everything at the beginning. And there's that point where she's like worried. But then she like tries to sell all these paintings. I don't want to say it's like exploitation of the situation, but it's a bit weird that she's like, just like, you have to stop this please.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell these paintings now and make money off of it.
I agree. But she did create her. image.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it doesn't belong to her because she's a person, but those images belong to her. I think it's fine that she sold them. That's what I'm saying. Sell them, you know. Live in Paris for a while, be horribly unhappy.
The gay lover. The guy who
What gay lover?
He plays Paddington.
Yeah, well, we have to only refer to him as Paddington. What does he say? Oh, he's a romantic, and I was like, I don't want to know that you're a romantic, Paddington. Get out.
They are very much that Lily is like a different person and comes and goes.
Yeah, I guess that's because they constructed her to start with. His wife made her initially.
But even at the end, when she has had the operation, the first of the 2 operations that she's going to have, she says to the wife, he's dead.
If you didn't ever know of anything like that happening before, you would just assume that you were 2 different people. Whereas now we're just like, wrong body.
Childhood friend. I guess he's like just a complicated person, because people are just like complicated.
Yes.
But he's like a sleazebag.
But he's not a sleazebag, is he?
But he's like a sleazebag / like
Why is
a really lovely person. Because he's
I don't
like.
think he is.
Well, because
I like him. Good nose. I like a good nose.
Yeah. The reason I think he's sleazy is because when they when he goes and they meet Lily, and he knows straight away that it's his friend, then he's like, oh, it must be really lonely not being with your husband and him not being around, and then just tries to like hit on her. I don't know if she would have been considered a different person, like if she would have like a new identity and passport and stuff.
Also, I thought was really weird about when they go to the party.
Yeah.
Because like some people know, but not everyone knows. Like if you were in really convincing drag, I would still know it was you. I'd be like, you look lovely.
Well, just
James.
But also just the she didn't have a scarf on a lot in the first half.
Oh yeah, but loads of women have Adam's apples. Like singers have big Adam's
Do they?
apples. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, not like all singers, but yeah.
Great wig, like the best wig I've ever seen.
Really
I don't think wigs are that good.
I was jealous of that wig.
I mean, that is a real wig, so those wigs do exist, obviously.
Great wig. You'd think when he was in Paris he'd have grown his hair out. Because like he grows his hair out after the first operation, but why not just grow it out when you're in Paris? You're in Paris, you know? Apart from those people that beat you up, who's gonna care?
Oh yeah, that bit. Those 2
Men?
yeah, just men, I don't know what they were doing. Were like catcalling her.
Yes.
And then
Well, she wasn't dressed as her though. She was just dressed as flamboyant him. He gets less attention dressed as a woman. I really enjoyed it, and it was a really good film. Did I really enjoy it? It was a really good film. Like, she's a really good looking woman. And all of these films are about like good looking women that have transitioned from like just white women basically.
Yeah.
It would be interesting for it not to be like that. And they're fairly well off. I mean, I know at one point they're like, we're struggling for money, but they're still like in Paris in a massive apartment. Like...
Oh, also, like the best dressed painters I've ever seen. Not like a lick of paint on them, even when they're painting.
Yeah.
She's like completely like immaculate and has like plucked eyebrows and like no...
Well, yeah, her eyebrows wouldn't grow back like after a day of painting.
What's that?
Her eyebrows wouldn't have grown back after like a day of painting.
No, sorry, what I mean is like she's just like a completely like
You don't like the more
I know,
you
like,
work, the more like
I
hair
know, like,
grows.
painting and hair aren't like
You just like
joined together.
Tom Hanks at the end of Castaway.
No.
She's like completely like done up.
She looks like she's just going out
but
for
like
the day, not
but,
like just
that,
come in.
And she looks like that when she's going to bed.
Yes, that's true.
Which,
And like unrealistic, I feel.
Yeah.
Because I look like this just before I go to bed.
Also, I've just written this down. I don't remember when it is, but some of like the reddest lipstick I've ever seen in this film.
I really liked it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
I really like red lipstick at the moment on other people.
So we're displaying this.
Well, just because like you know me and I don't wear red lipstick, so you might think that I'm just getting home and putting on red lipstick. Although that would be fine, just for me, just the dog.
Just sounds like you kiss your dog.
Oh, I do kiss the dog, not in the mouth.
Or with
gross.
lipstick.
Although, not gross, I'm not judging. It's, do whatever you like. Not like bestiality, but like people kiss the dogs on mouths, right? And like, I'm like, wouldn't do it. But it's not like, because the dog is kissing them too. It's a mutual agreement. Yeah.
It's like a weird term. I don't want to.
Cool Midwife Girl, we can talk about her some more.
Sure.
She's in it in the background. She says a line, I think. It's like, come over here, or where is that really difficult name that I can't say. Is it an Oscar-worthy performance, James? I don't know. He is, like, it's okay, but mainly he's just breathing. Like, right? He's just, they're just like, they're like photographs, right? The shots with him in, where he's like acting, are just like a moving photograph. I know what film is. But like, he's not moving and he's just breathing. It's like transparent all over again.
Is it an Oscar-worthy performance? I think, like, I noticed his smile more. Like he had like two like modes. One was like kind of like reserved, and the other was like big grin.
Yeah.
And that was like the two like female expressions he could manage.
Yes.
When he was modelling himself on people, it was like when they were like doing something a bit odd or like not natural.
Yeah.
So like, especially with the dancer in the Peep Show.
Yeah. And all the things he picked up were like specific things that the women were doing, like so the men would look at them. They were all doing everything that he was copying for men. What can you do? Male gaze. I'm sure we have at least another 30 years of it. How old are we? 40 years.
Oh, why? When do you think it will be like done?
Oh, probably when we're like 70, 75.
So like when we're 75, you'll think we'll be like sitting going, male gaze. Remember that? That was weird, wasn't it?
No, but I think
Remember
that
those
it
2,000
might.
years.
I think that like might not be the only way they make TV and films. But I know that they are making TV and films not like that, but like mainstream. Well, I guess Carol was quite mainstream, but I have issues with whether or not that's without male gaze. This was all a bit of a rush. Next time, research ahoy!